So, let's talk BL4. I'ma present to you my 5 things I wanna see in BL4 the most. And plus one bonus one, and like one hot take, but I think people will disagree with me, because people actually like that for some reason. But anyway, thing number one I wanna see in BL4. 100% drop chances. This is one of the things people will disagree with me. Like, if dedicated drops will be back in BL4, then at least make them 100% drop chance. Dedicated farming is so shit in all of the BL games. This is one of the reasons why BL1 and the pre-sequel actually, like, have good farming systems somewhat. Like, I actually enjoyed the grinder in the pre-sequel. The lack of dedicated drops in the pre-sequel was also, for me, a good thing. BL1 definitely nailed it. BL1 fucking nailed farming. Like, it's not just go kill an enemy, save quit, or like one-shot enemy, save quit, go to the enemy, save quit. Like, it's not just a loading screen simulator like BL2 and BL3 are. Yeah, actually I'm tell you that I personally don't wanna see dedicated drops be back. This is the part where people are gonna kick off absolutely. They'll unsub from my channel, start rioting, and God knows what else. Call me crazy, but like I said, BL or dedicated farming is so incredibly shit. It's seriously just a loading screen simulator. Like, you jump down, kill the boss, no drop, save quit, over and over. It's just so boring. This is why BL1's loot system was pretty much the best. And this, let's just go ahead to our next thing I wanna see in this game, or in BL4, is a better loot system, and better part systems as well. Better loot systems, what I mean by that is, good farming. Like, I'm not just I'm going for just from my head. I don't have this anywhere written down what I want to see. I'm just like going off of my head and looking for things. In my opinion, world drop farming is way better. Like, you don't know what you're gonna get, and like it's pretty much just it. Or world drop farming is so much better in my opinion, because you don't save quit every 3 seconds. You don't have a long loading screen. I'm repeating this for the 5th time, I know, but I seriously prefer world drop farming instead of dedicated farming. Which brings us to another thing I want to see in BL4: faster loading screens. As you probably know, BL2 and the pre-sequel had some of the long or fastest loading screens, like 3-second loading screens, when BL3 has like 15-second loading screens. Like, from my testing, my loading screens in BL3 are like 20 seconds long at most. Well, but it also depends on the size of the map. Like, if the map is very small, then the loading screen is going to be very short. And it also depends on the hardware as well. But BL2 and the pre-sequel had 3-second loading screens. Like, if they were to bring back dedicated drops to BL4, at least make loading screens not take forever to load. And also optimize your game a little bit better, Gearbox. And also, knowing that BL3 with all DLCs is 130 gigabytes, BL4 is probably going to be even more than that. Just because, you know, Western game devs or something, kinda. I mean, I know that they're based in Texas, but it just, you know, feels like a Western game dev. So anyway, time to move on to the next thing, which is list part variations. Whenever I get an item, whenever I get an item, I want it to not have 20 billion parts. Just make it like the BO2 one or the pre-sequel, where you pretty much only have like 4 parts, and then just like 3 variations of that part. Instead of, you know, having a foregrip, grip accessory, stock accessory, barrel accessory, body accessory, all that. That's just shit. Absolutely unnecessary part additions to the game. It only makes a simple item, just a simple, let's say, pistol. To get a perfect version of that pistol, it can take hundreds of thousands of runs even. Not to mention like the artifact and class mod rolls in this game. Like, some can take years to get up for a perfect roll. Like a perfect white elephant takes 100 years to get. Or like a perfect accompaniment is pretty much like the same. Can take you even... and I'm serious, I'm dead ass serious that it can take you multiple centuries to get a perfect white elephant, but it's been kind of like projected that to get a perfect white elephant it takes about 100 years. But from what I remember, the accompaniment is even harder to get. It takes multiple centuries. Like the perfect hide in BO2, it takes on average 300 years. Yeah, that's... I don't want to see that in BO4. I want to see like simple part systems where it's only like 3 parts, like body, grip, stock. Kind of something similar to the pre-sequel in BO2, but just don't overdo it. And for the next thing I want to see in BO4 are long takedowns plus raid bosses. As we know, in BO3 you have 2 takedowns. We have Malawan and Guardian takedown, and sometimes you might even consider the Anvil to be COV takedown at Mayhem 11 just because of the huge amount of badasses you can find there. But generally it's considered that we have 2 main takedowns in this game, Malawan and Guardian, as you probably know. And on average, for a casual player, Malawan takedown, the scaled version, can take up to 10 minutes, let's say. 10 to 15 minutes, basically. For like true Malawan takedown, it can take 15 minutes to 20 minutes, let's say. Guardian takedown, scaled Guardian takedown can take a casual player like 25 to 35 minutes maybe. That's like excluding any sort of skips or anything, something like that. And like true Guardian takedown can take you even longer, like will take you even longer. Because true Guardian takedown is the hardest piece of endgame content in BO3 if you didn't know that. So for a casual player it might take 40 to like an hour, 40 minutes to like an hour. But like for experienced players like me, it doesn't even take 20 minutes at most. But personally, from a perspective of a guy who has almost 3,000 hours on BO3, I want to see even longer takedowns. I want to see at least an hour-long takedown, even for me. But just don't make it way too long, and also don't make the same mistake like you did, where you introduce annoying mobs, which is actually our next thing on this list. Like seriously, anointed enemies weren't fun to fight against. They were so bad. I don't wanna see anointed enemies to be back. I know. Cause they're just incredibly not fun. Like, let's say you have an anointed tank. They're small. They teleport around like every other anointed. They teleport around. Like the anointed tank itself. Once he like starts railing you with his dull AR, with his unique dull AR, then you're just gonna die if you don't do something very quickly. And let's talk about anointed militants, how they were incredibly... How do I word this? Like, horribly implemented into the game. A mob who has a shield, bullet deflection with that shield, and immune phases on a basic mob. Like, this is just horrible. So I don't want to see like anointed enemies or like teleporting enemies, any sort of that thing in BL4. And let's go back to the takedown topic. For a casual player, an hour. Okay, hold on. Let me rephrase this. For an experienced player, a takedown which can take 2 hours for a casual player can seriously take like an hour. I'm fine with that. I don't need a 2-hour long takedown, but just don't make it way too long. Personally, I want takedowns to be even more rewarding. Like if you're gonna make an hour-long takedown, at least make the final boss drop at least 20 legendaries. We've all seen what happened with Guardian takedown and with Scourge. How at most he can drop like what, 6 legendaries? Like I know a guy who's got literally 1 legendary and it was a loaded dice. Like, from what I remember, it was a loaded dice. Or something like that. Like I think I actually got a run once where I didn't get a single legendary from Scourge. And before you say just run it on True Takedown doesn't affect the rewards. So, it not have made any difference anyway. But please, if you're gonna make multiple hour-long takedowns, then just make it very rewarding. And just before you ask that make it drop pearls, I personally wouldn't want to see pearls be back in BL4. Because I feel like they'd just be legendaries 2.0 like it is with BL2. Like seriously, they're just legendaries but fancier. No real special effect, and like basically just kinda boring. And same with BL3, if you think that BL3 doesn't have pearls, then you're wrong, because it does have pearls, without mods. They're called Mayhem exclusives. So now you can stop bitching that BL3 doesn't have pearls, because it already does. They're in the form of Mayhem exclusives. That's why we don't need a final patch if they were to bring back pearls. Like, I'd like to see a final patch for BO3. Like, to fix the vending machine crash, which is most common found in Malwan Takedown. And just, I'd like to see mostly bug fixes, as everybody pretty much does. So yeah, I wouldn't want to see pearls back in BL4. And I think it's time for some meme. I think it's time for some meme things I want to see in BL4. I forgot the word for it. Like, like a meme suggestion. I found the word. Like time for some meme suggestions. I'd like to see the Insider back, obviously, as most of you probably know that the Insider is my favorite gun in the game. It's a Mal-1 shotgun from DLC 2, which shoots. It has an alien barrel. It shoots balls with no charge time. That's pretty much like the only few Mal-1s I like. Mainly if it doesn't have charge time, then Mal-1s without charge time I really like. In this case, the Insider. But it also has penetrating projectiles, so it can do some crazy stuff with Hustler Eraser Zane. And more Easter eggs. I wanna see like okay. Let me actually start these challenges properly. But in my opinion, I wanna see like a Metallica Easter egg or something like that. Seriously, I mean that seriously. As a metalhead, I'd really like that. Or like even Megadeth Easter egg could be fun. It's like something related to metal music. Something like that, or like even something from the Big Four, if you know what I mean. Just like something like that. And for our final suggestion for this video, and for our final meme suggestion, I'd like to see Grandma Toy be back. And just make, just introduce like a new story for her. Like, give her a side quest, give her another story, but it doesn't take 20 minutes, instead it takes 5 hours, for example. If anybody has the time for that. It'd be incredibly fun if they actually brought back Grandma Torg. So anyway, this was the video for today. Those were my suggestions on what I'd like to see in BL4. See you today with the Maurice's Backman Vending Machine video, and on Monday with another BL related video. Bye bye.